welcome every one of you again. Now we're almost there. So I hand the floor over to the course director for the General Boat Appreciation course in the person of Commodore Kingsley Okechukwu, working now retired. He will take over from here. Thank you, Commodore.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Flotilla Academy of Marine Technology. I am Commodore Kingsley Okechukwu, a retired naval officer who served many years in Nigerian Navy. I attended several courses and seminars, conferences on marine-related endeavors. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Shipping and a master's degree holder in transport management. We will start this journey, General Boat Appreciation course, which will run for 1 week. We will start this by looking into the history and the evolution of boats.
What happens to be my humble self? I will be speaking on introduction to boat classification as part of this General Boat Appreciation course. You go by the jetty, go to the marina, you go by the banks of the river, you see several types of vessels, different in size, in shape, in function, in methods of propulsion. This is to help you be able to differentiate the both kinds when you see them. So you engage with boats differently. After going through this, you're able to classify them in your head as you see them.
So welcome to today's class, and it's good to have every one of us here. All right, yesterday we saw a bit on the history of boats, where we came from. We also saw the different types of boats and their uses. So today we'll be biting a little bit deeper. We will look at the different components of a boat, and hopefully at the end of today you should be able to identify different boat parts, the key components of a boat.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here with you again. So on this day 2, my presentation is on the basics of boat design. I will start at the beginning with introduction to hydrostatics. This is where everything concerning the design of vessels usually begins. I want to show some examples of some scale models that I have here. If you can see this well, you can see this is a monohull. Okay, this is a monohull. So most of the things you see on Nigerian waterways are monohulls. The monohull, mono is one. You know what mono is? Okay, it's the scale model of a catamaran. You see the two hulls. Okay, this is the scale model of a catamaran. I have it in here. So they are inherently stable because they have two hulls. The trimaran. Should we make it trimaran? Try, as you can imagine. Try. It has 3 hulls. Okay. So all of these have different characteristics.
We are all welcome to the General Boat Appreciation course, day 3. Session 1 of its kind in Nigeria. I am Oludepo Daniel once again. I'll be taking the class or a presentation on safety equipment and practices in maritime transport and maritime industry. Let me ask, how many of us actually remember the movie Titanic?
The gentleman that will take us in this session is the current Deputy Director of the Transport School of the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, Zaria. He holds an MSc in Maritime Management Technology from FUT Owerri. He also holds a PhD in Transport Management Technology from the same FUT Owerri. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, a fellow of the Institute of Maritime Safety Administration. He's a certified trainer and maritime inspector in applying the International Labour Organization's Maritime Labour Convention of 2006. He's a flag state and port state administrator, an ILO licensed trainer of port workers, and he's a licensed freight forwarder. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Shehu Usman Gidado.
Thank you, Chairman. And I think my work at this point is quite, it's about law and regulations. It may not be that pictorial as such, but it will be a lot of text and then a lot of discussions to explain each of these. So I think I'm going to look at issues of boating laws and regulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today's session, Dr. Heme Butu, an accomplished expert in climate change adaptation and risk management. Please, ladies and gentlemen, comrades, join me in warmly welcoming our distinguished speaker, Dr. Hemezite Butu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure to be here speaking to everyone. I'm actually very glad that climate change is taking center stage. It's something I've been interested in all my life, so I'm happy to be here. So the idea today is I just want to give an overview of climate change.
Thank you very much, Dr. Butu, for that presentation. So our next presenter, he studied architecture at the University of Jos. Then he studied interior design at the Florence Design Academy, Florence, Italy. He holds a master degree in interior design from the same Florence Design Academy, Italy. He holds another master's degree in sustainability and adaptation. This from the Center for Alternative Technology, Wales, in collaboration with the University of East London. He has had a long and varied career in the areas of architecture and smart design, with special focus on green architecture and adaptability. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome architect Matthias Agbo Jr. Architect, the floor is yours.
This is quite interesting. So this is just going to be quite I know this is serious business, but this should be a bit informal since I know quite a number of faces here. Okay, so I'll be speaking on sustainable boating practices. I'm more concerned about the environmental issues that arise from boating. So whether they are leisure boats or they are or for business.
To take the next session, he would wrap everything up into one, so we don't have to go for that second section. He has incorporated everything together. So this session we're about to enter will be the final session. After it, we just have general conversations and point the way forward. The next person I'm about to introduce, he's a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's a member of the Council of Registered Engineers of Nigeria. He's a civil engineer by training, with a bias for maritime infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Engineer Ada James Ijebu. Engineer Ijebu, over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to believe we have more than a lady today. I welcome you all on behalf of Flotilla Academy of Marine Technology to the General Boat Appreciation course. And the topic of our session today is troubleshooting basics for boats. And my name is Engineer Ada James Ijebu.
So now that you have been exposed to the maritime world, perhaps in a way that you didn't think about it before. So how different will your engagement with the maritime world be going forward? Or to ask it another way, have you identified any business opportunities within the maritime space that you would like to explore?
Oh yes. Number one, that I think that there is like a gap in the market for boats, that is properly constructed boats. And apart from the boat, provision of life jackets as a rental arrangement. Then of course, there are so many parts of the waterways, inland and all that we practically have no minor transportation going on, or what we have. So I think that there is a gap there in that market, but I think that it's capital intensive. So what I'm just wondering how we can marry availability of capital to the areas where there is a gap. There's so much opportunity, but I think we have to start somewhere. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Architect. I take it now. He has touched on a number of issues. One key thing he said, we have to start somewhere, and another thing, the capital that is required to take advantage of these gaps. And on that note, I want to ask if Dr. Gidado is in the house.
Yes, I'm in the house. Please.
Okay, I think you should take a minute or two to speak about the coming capital vessel financing fund and how it relates to what you just said.
Okay. So, actually, the cabotage vessel financing fund is a fund that was established along with the Coastal and Inland Shipping Act. And it's a provision that requires 2.5% of freight charges on vessels entering Nigerian ports pay to the fund. So over the past many years, the fund has been generating a lot of income, especially during the recent years of fuel importation. So over the years, this fund has generated so much money, and it was purposely, as the name goes, cabotage vessel financing fund. It was basically meant to fund investments, activities, and ventures that relate to cabotage vessels. So by extension, the shipyard, ships built and ships funded in one way or the other to participate in cabotage. That's what the fund is meant for. At this point now, about $350 million have been slated for disbursement to prospective participants in the cabotage or in cabotage vessel building, acquisition, all that. So it is very administration and the current honorable minister is determined to now implement the disbursement of the fund. And which, to my knowledge, at this time, most of the modalities behind that have been put together, only waiting for those who apply to be verified, and also applications to be received, and then the formalities for selection of those who merit disbursement will be done, and then the funds will be disbursed. But definitely, as the name goes again, the main priority will go to those to shipbuilding entities. Already participants in the cabotage sector who also want to acquire additional capacity, who will also benefit from the funds to acquire either more vessels or new vessels to engage in that. But most especially from feelers, we need to develop shipyards that can locally build these ships, because the Cabotage Act is built on pillars of indigenization. Everything about cabotage has to be done locally, from the shipyards where such vessels will be built, to the clients of these shipyards who vessels will be built for, to the crew that will man those ships, and of course, such ships will have to be registered in Nigeria. Chinese policy aimed at barring or denying foreigners in participating in local Nigerian shipping, that is along the coastline and into the inland waterways. So it's a kind of a reservation policy for indigenous shipbuilders to take advantage of building ships to Nigerians who will now engage in carrying goods and services to passengers across the coastal and inland shipping routes of Nigeria. So basically, aim at developing indigenous capacity in shipbuilding, in ship ownership, and in seafaring, and also in the local registration of ships in the country.
Thank you, Doctor. Two things. As Agzed Muyowa said earlier, we have to start where we are. So, Agzed Muyowa, the plans that you have, the gaps that have identified, you have to start where you have to fill them. But also, there's a coming cabotage vessel financing fund, which is to be disbursed this year. So, we need to find out all the modalities, and we can find a way to take advantage of that. Thank you, Dr. Gidado. Thank you, Agzed Muyowa.
Dr. David Ogbala is my name. I am supposed to be anchoring the next session, which is going to be our final session for both this evening and also for the entire course on boat appreciation. It's been a robust time of engagement all through the week. I want to seize this opportunity to register our appreciations to all of our facilitators and members of faculty, the policymakers who hooked up to each of the sessions, and also to our amazing students or pioneer students of the Flotilla Academy of Marine Technology. Thank you for making history with us. It will go down in history that when this vision was vetted, these were the frontliners who ensured, or who were the midwives that ensured that the baby was birthed safely. This evening, before we draw the curtain on the entire boat appreciation course, we felt it was important for us to just take an overview as far as the future of boating in Nigeria is concerned. Incidentally, most of our speakers, they have pinched, that issue here and there. So that makes it easy for us now to take it up from the places that they have stopped, and then we lay more blocks as far as that particular thought is concerned, the future of boating in Nigeria. When we're talking about the future of boating in Nigeria, it is the entire system of production, that is boat building, boat operation, boat maintenance, the commerce of the maritime space, and everything that has got to do with the ecosystem of boating. We are going to be looking at some various components, and we would like for you to just share your insight as we all project forward. Their experienced Commodore in our first lecture took us down memory lane as to the origin of boating. So that afforded us a historical perspective on the subject of boating. So somewhat or somehow we took off from the past. We are in the present, and collectively we're going to be using our foresight mechanism to look into the future, so we can offer appropriate recommendations that will enable us to maximize this very, very important aspect of livelihood, of economy, and of the survival of us as a people and also as a nation. I want to begin by saying tonight, I'll just lay the framework, and then we are going to be looking at issues. I'll be welcoming comments both from the faculty and also from the students on this various aspect of the thoughts that we are going to be focusing on today. Any economy that relies on land alone will not be able to maximize, the economic potentials, and also land will be overburdened. If you have been blessed with the opportunity of a coastline, a harbor, a water body, be it inland or coastland, that affords you the opportunity to diversify your economy so that while you are profiting from the red, economy, you are also tapping into the blue economy. The blue economy has got to do with the maritime sector. And the maritime sector in Nigeria holds a very, very promising prospect for both personal and national economy. And it is so good that the current administration of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is giving policy attention to that area, especially beginning with the creation of the blue economy. So that spells a direct policy focus or intentionality in that particular area. It remains now to be seen how that particular ministry, warehousing both policy and the social structures, will drive that particular sector to the benefit of Nigeria as a state and also for Nigerians in the microeconomic sense of it. The fact remains that if you have a water body passing through your state, that state should not be poor because you have a dual economic, opportunities to be able to harness these potentials. And coupled with the digital economy now, you have a tripod economy where you have the digital economy, that's like economy in the air, in the clouds, accessible, by computer, the digital economy, blockchain, and all of those matters. And then you have the land economy, and then you also have the blue economy. So economy on land has got to do with agriculture, industrialization. Digital economy, like I said earlier, has got to do with the blockchain and a lot of the cyber advantages that we have, like cyber security, data analysis, and cryptocurrency, forex, and all of those matters. Those are the components of the digital economy. And then we are talking about the blue economy. The potentials, like we said earlier, is enormous. We're going to be looking at it in the Nigerian sense, and then we will postulate into the future.
Thank you, Dr. David. I think the future of boating is so bright and so bright that it cannot be overemphasized. We just have to select how bright the future could be. Boat building, new boat designs, whether you touch it on the angle of carriage of goods, carriage of passengers, leisure, entrepreneurship, or in the area of sports, all these areas, as far as boating is concerned, I cannot say they are virgin areas, but they are really still having a large pocket of green spots that need to be harnessed. And important aspect of it that can lead to eventual exploitation of this potential is having new boats built, having new entrepreneurs delve into the business, utilize aspect of the business, whether I think it's in all, whether it's in transportation, in leisure, in pleasure, in boat housing, and several others, tourism, all the issues we discussed, you find out that we have not reached even the desired or the required service, talk less of the optimum. So, and in everything we try to move towards the optimum so that we get the best of the good benefits. But as far as boating is concerned, I think we are yet to actually utilize a good size of the potential that exists there. So that's why I always welcome enthusiasts, investors, partners, trainees, those who want to have additional skills too, and also those who want to open up new ventures. As far as boating is concerned, it still remains a green field with a wide range of underexploited angles within the boating business. Just brief on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gidado. The floor is open.
Thank you, Dr. Mole. One thing I want to say is that in Nigeria, we're always talking about unemployment and underemployment. Now, this industry is an entire industry. In fact, it's an entire economy. That's why they call it the blue economy, because it's made up of several different industries. So it's so vast and the opportunities are so many that it could absorb all the unemployed people in the country. This is the point I want to make. Because if you develop just a boat building industry significantly, you are not serving just the Nigerian market. If you've been to the Calabar waters, you know the cross rivers are sailing out. You are looking at Cameroon, you are looking at Equatorial Guinea. If you go to Lagos, you know about the entire West African coast. You are looking further down to Freetown and Dakar and all. So we have a situation where if you develop segments of this economy so well, the market is not just Nigeria, it is West Africa, it is Central Africa, and it's by extension, it is Africa. And this can extend all to the Caribbean and parts of Asia. So it's something that holds the potential to make us an economic powerhouse. This is what the economy presents for us. So it's something that everyone should jump in and take advantage of. Thank you.
I want to say it's a big leap for us. And Nigeria, we have the ability to leapfrog so many other countries when it comes to the maritime sector, because they have already developed the technology. All we need to do is just to, build on what we are seeing, and then we take over. As far as Africa is concerned, we have the manpower, we have the ability, we have the brains. What we need is our educational system. We need to channel all our energy and focus to, bringing our young ones, specifically for the purpose of this team from childhood, and then we'll move ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Onoja. Thank you very much for that very wonderful contributions from the staples of Hero.
Okay, thank you, everyone, both the directors, participants. I don't know whether they are gate crashers. All the same, everybody is participants. I thank you all for your patience. Have been with us from Monday to this present hour. It has been an exciting event, interactions, knowledge. Even myself, I learned a lot of things. I think I need certificate too. I have undergone this course. So it's a very exciting thing and a very educative, mind-blowing, and awareness, creating awareness for every seafarer. So it's a very good course, and I want to urge all of us to build on it. We have had a very good foundation on it. It's good for us to build on it. I encourage everybody to participate. Other courses that are coming, which will be, one has already been announced, others will be announced in due course. It's good for us to participate and gather the necessary knowledge that we may gather. So it's a very good thing, and it's a very good opportunity that we have. And I thank every one of us who participated, who contributed, who facilitated in one way or the other. Our thanks are not enough. We pray that we will have more of you, and we're eager to have you in other courses in future. This junction, I'd like to thank everyone and wish us, I think, a two-month holiday for the next course. Thank you all of us, and I expect you by 19th of May. Thank you very much.